George Washington's Maternal Grandmother by Dennis Nelson. Mary Bennett was an indentured servant in America for at least 5 years, leaving London in 1684 and went to Maryland in her 18th year. In 1689 at Christ Church Parish in Virginia, Middlesex County, she married a ship captain, William Johnson, after completing her bounty. They had Elizabeth and John, and William tried tobacco farming, but failed and was imprisoned for his debts in 1696, and to the family that was harming. William and Mary are my 6 great-grandparents on my father's side, and their daughter Elizabeth is my 5th great-grandmother on my father's side. We don't know what happened to William, but around 1708, the sheriff was trying to collect on his debts from Mary, his wife, which wasn't great. Then in 1708, Mary married Joseph Ball, a widower who was 59, a wealthy planter back then, a marriage to his 5 adult children's chagrin. Mary knew Joseph back in 1704 when she witnessed his land deed transfer into court, and she signed with an X, meaning she couldn't write according to the report. Mary and Joseph had only one child. When Mary was 42, a daughter was born in 1708, and she was named Mary too. Joseph died in 1711, when daughter Mary was only 3, and mother Mary was a widow again, but not for long, you see, because in just over a year she married Richard Hughes, and to Cherry Neck Point they did move, in Northumberland County, but by 714 his will was proved. Mary never married again, but instead spent the rest of her life managing the estate left by her 3rd husband, Richard Hughes, and making sure daughter Mary received the share of the Ball estate she was entitled to. Mary's will was probated in July 1721, so she died at 55, as well as her son John. So her daughter Mary Ball was now an orphan at the age of 12 and some. In her will, the executor and guardian for daughter Mary was named. A trusted and well-beloved close friend, George Eskridge was his name. George's first wife, Rebecca Bonham, was her name. Her nephew Samuel had married Elizabeth, Mary's mother's daughter, the same. So Mary Ball the orphan went to live with her half-sister Elizabeth at Sandy Point. She had experienced the death of 2 fathers and her mother and brother at this point. This daughter, Mary Ball, would marry in 1731 Augustine Washington and have a son named after George Eskridge, George Washington. Yes, that George Washington, an American general in the Revolutionary War and the first president of the United States after he won that war. So George Washington is my half-first cousin, 6 times removed, and I am a lifetime member of the National Society of Washington Family Descendants too. And his mother, Mary Ball, is my 5th great-grandmother's half-sister to Elizabeth Johnson. What a genealogical twister. So this Mary Bennett Johnson Ball Hughes, her life is quite a story about marriages and survival, and her daughter Mary Ball's childhood story. From a indentured servant to a wealthy landowner in America, to grandmother of the father of the country, this could only happen in America.